Hi, my name is Warner Brown. I'm the president of Tech Labs and XCal. And today we're going to be talking about CNC and the applications for CNC and 3D printers across our region.
Hey there, Warner. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Would you mind telling our viewers who you are, where you're from, what you do?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. My name is Warner Brown. I'm the president of Technical Laboratory Systems and XCal Corporation, and we are a full service distribution company. And our territory goes from Brownsville, Texas, all the way to Montana. So we're in 8 states in the Mountain West.
Wow, how do you cover all of those states? How big is your team? What boots do we got on the ground?
Great question. We have 11 people in our sales team. One person is on our inside sales team, and we have 10 people that are living in our territory from San Antonio to Dallas, Dallas to Denver, Denver to Salt Lake City, and Houston. We're all over. We do a lot of driving.
Yeah, that sure sounds like it. How did Tech Labs get started? Give us a little history.
So in 1976, my parents started Tech Labs, and we were incorporated in 1977. So we've grown our business over the past 40 plus years by representing great partners like Levil and Fanuc and many others, and focusing on the customer and treating them how we would want to be treated, because we're not perfect. And when we make mistakes, we do our best to correct them and address them to our customer satisfaction. And I think that builds a level of trust, because it's easy to do business with someone when there's never anything that goes wrong. Well, in life, we know things go wrong. So it's about what you do to correct those items. And we're very good at that. We have 4 full-time service team members that are trained. I think Daniel, spent a few days at your facility getting to know the LMV400 more, and the robot load unload cell as well. So we focus on being trained and having a trained team to support our customers.
That's super important that they feel taken care of. Can you tell us a little bit about your product line? What do you offer and what services you provide?
So we represent quite a few companies, and within those, these are companies that are creating full or complete lab solutions to deliver a credential or to deliver a skill for anyone from a middle school or high school or college or university and tech centers in almost any educational facility. We also supply technical training equipment to companies like Mars Candy, Coors Brewing, Verizon Wireless, and many, many others. So we're providers of technical educational solutions for things like CNC, robotics, 3D printing, automation, mechatronics, and as well anatomy and physiology. I think when you visited, you saw some of our
I saw a body in a tank.
Endeavor, amazing solution, very high fidelity technical teaching models for health and medical careers. Not always my cup of tea, but we have some great people on our team who are subject matter experts, and I can just bring people to see those solutions and kind of step back and let the experts do their thing. It's unnerving how realistic their solutions are.
Yes, I would definitely agree from a personal experience. So tell us about, how does the process work? If a school is interested in equipping a new lab, what does that process look like?
So typically what happens is our outside sales team would engage with a customer that we've already worked with or they've worked with for many years, and then they bring to us the goal of their project, or say, hey, we need to be able to have a new program that delivers these skills. Then what we would do is sit down with them and their advisory council and their team to determine what are their needs, what are their requirements, and what's the best way to accomplish those. And then let them essentially tell us where they need to be. And then we work from the finish line backwards. So we have team members that can help create drawings, technical drawings with equipment schedules that are great for an architect, because sometimes it's difficult for a CTE director to walk into a meeting with architects and they say they need to put the CNC machine in this room with this robot cell, and the architect, generally speaking, doesn't necessarily know what that physically looks like, how much does it weigh, what is the size, and we're able to help them with that. So then we also are able to do an alignment to their curriculum. So it helps with the instructor, right? So you've got the admin level where we're helping them understand how our solution is going to be successful. And then we're working with the instructors to do a curriculum alignment so that the instructor knows what the district is going to purchase for their program is going to have the outcomes that meet their needs for, every part of their course.
Awesome.
So we work very hard to help them meet their goals and begin with that in mind.
So that's how the starting process looks. What about aftermarket support? They've got the lab equipped now. What happens after that?
So earlier I had mentioned that we have 4 team members that are focused on orientation, technical training for our team and for our customers. So those folks are always available to support our customers. We've had many projects where we help when they originally get the equipment, and then let's say the instructor leaves. Well, a lot of times our customers will send their team members here to our solution center, which is located in Katy, Texas, outside of Houston. And we have a lot of our solutions here locally where our customers will come and spend time with us. Sometimes when we go to a campus, the instructor can oftentimes get pulled away from meetings or distracted with students. So we have our facility available with our technical team here where they can be focused and learn or be trained or have an upskilling, if you will, on the equipment that we have in-house.
That's great. Obviously, you guys have a lot of, it sounds like, very personalized touch for each of these schools, making sure their needs are being met. Would you say that's the biggest thing that sets you apart from your competitor, or is there something else that you think makes Tech Lab shine?
I think one of the things that really separates us is that we really invest in our customers. We understand that a relationship is 2 ways, and a relationship needs to be long-term, and it needs to be more of a partnership than a sales and service and a customer relationship. We focus on, again, putting ourselves in their shoes and trying to find the best solution or the best options for them, not necessarily what meets and defines their budget. I think a lot of times people in our business take the easy route and say that customer has $25,000 and they say their goals are X. A lot of providers will provide a solution that's exactly $25,000 and tell them it'll get to the goals that they've outlined when it really won't. I would rather lose business and get business in the future repeatedly by making sure when somebody invests with us that they're really getting a high rate of return, and it truly does impact students' lives and help them achieve good goals. That's how we've been in business for 45 years. And I think that's why we have the best partners in the industry, because we're not just working with individual schools or companies. The companies we're partnered with select us over others. And I think that speaks a lot about who we are and what we do as a team.
Yeah, you do the right thing for the right reason, and that shows. And, that's a big value.
None of our competitors have any full-time service people. And there's nothing wrong with folks that are working on contract. There's nothing wrong with that. We used to be in that position, 20 plus years ago. Now we have 4 full-time people. And I think that's a big investment in terms of people and capital. And that's an investment in our customers, because that'd be really easy to not do.
Yeah, those people are now experts in what you provide instead of somebody walking in and doing it temporarily. And they represent you well, which is what you want.
Exactly. And that means we have the ability to support our customers directly, and then our manufacturers support us in turn.
Well, that's great. So Warner, we've got people watching this video right now. If they are in need of education support, how do they contact you guys?
So our websites are probably the easiest way, which is tech-labs.com and x-cal.us. .us. And then they can always email me, which is my name, Warner, Warner, at tech-labs.com.
So Werner, we put a poll out to our followers and we asked them, what do they want to know about CNC machines and 3D printers? Do you think you could help me answer a few of those questions?
Be happy to.
Awesome. So the first one I have for you is, who uses CNC machines?
So I think the easy way to say that is, or answer that question is, wherever somebody is manufacturing or creating a product or a solution, you'll most likely find CNC machines. And that would be the medical industry, aerospace, and specifically here in Houston, oil and gas. The oil and gas companies, and then the service companies, the contract manufacturers that support these industries are also going to have CNC machines to help build and create components for products or the entire product for their customers.
That's great. I think a lot of the times people don't realize how often CNC machines are used in all of their day-to-day products.
They really don't. They don't realize how many parts and components that when they're visiting a hospital were created by a medical manufacturer right here in Houston, or a watch that was machined right here in Katy, Texas. There's a lot of contract manufacturing. There's one 2 miles from our office. They have like 240,000 square feet, and they have every type of CNC machine, from milling, turning, EDM, injection molding.
All of it.
You need a golf cart to go around and see everything that they have. It's all controlled by CNC.
Very cool. And the next question we have is, how long do CNC machines last?
Well, that's always a tricky question. The answer would come down to the type of machine you invested in. Was it a high quality precision machine with the components that are capable of lasting? And then have you performed the proper preventative maintenance and care for that machine? If you were to do all those things and the manufacturer you purchased it from had spare parts and was able to support you, I would think decades, my opinion, because I've seen some very well-maintained older machines that still get the job done.
Yeah, as long as you give it a little love, they last a long time.
That's right. Just like a car. If it's well-maintained, it lasts. If it's not, it won't last.
Awesome. So the next question we have here is, how do you think 3D printing is changing the world?
I think I would go back to the company I mentioned that's 2 miles away from us. About 10 years ago, they started getting into metal 3D printing. And you would think a company that primarily produced components based on subtractive cutting, right, CNC, wouldn't be doing that. What they did is they saw an opportunity to advance their business and broaden their customer base by adopting metal 3D printing. And it has done just that. It's expanded their opportunities. It's helped them get more contracts. And it's really changed their manufacturing. I think that's something that folks oftentimes think is, well, subtractive or CNC would be eliminated by additive. I think that's the wrong answer. I think the right answer is the best additive solutions should be complemented with CNC solutions and vice versa. I think that's the best way to do it, because a CNC machine can't do what a 3D printer can do, and neither can the other. So it becomes, to me, harmony to have both.
That's awesome. You actually answered my last question, which is, do you think 3D printers will replace CNC machines? And as you clearly said,
I don't. I think what we're going to see is more and more people who primarily only use additive adopting CNC, and people that are primarily CNC contract manufacturers adopting additive as a combined solution to meet the needs of the market. I think if I was to answer a question within that question, the medical industry has had major leaps and bounds from CNC for how they could create a product. And now with additive in Houston and across our territory, you're seeing lives be changed, surgeries be shortened by the combination of both of these technologies. Because if I'm a doctor and I'm able to create something that helps me better understand a person's anatomy, or a part that helps me complete a surgery quicker, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I've even seen or heard that they're 3D printing tissue, and it's mind-boggling where we'll be in the next 20 years. So it's very exciting.
Kind of glad that people know what it is now, know what 3D printing is. When I first started in selling 3D printers, most people had no idea what they were, and that was very kind of frustrating because you try to explain to somebody and they would just have a blank stare, like, what is this guy talking about? Now it's very well known, and I don't feel strange that somebody doesn't understand what I do.
Yeah.
Or one of the components of what we do.
Well, funny enough, the way we explain CNC machines sometimes to people that don't know is we say we're the opposite of a 3D printer because everyone knows what that is. So it's definitely very widely accepted. Anyway, Warner, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today, answer some of these questions, and hopefully we can do this again in the future.
Always good to talk to you.